Hello everyone, welcome to Homeschool Autism Life. My name is Jamie. Today's video, I wanted to share another homeschool haul. I love this time of year. It makes me so happy to find deals and stuff like that. I've shared one haul already that I will leave linked down below. It was another book outlet haul. I did spend a wee bit more, but that one is like my spine is Gather Round Homeschool. We do a unit together every 6 weeks or so. And so I want to make sure that I get a wide variety of books. I try to find like one good picture book, and then sometimes I will try and find read alouds or assigned readers in whatever the unit is. So if you've watched my Gather Round Plan With Me's, you know how I like to do things. But this haul is everything else that I needed to get to. So I'm going to try and run through it really fast. So I have a thrift store in our little town, and I got a few things from them. So I got this picture book. It's about Frederick Douglass. I like buying these even though my children are smaller, just because my daughters love just because my daughters like to draw. They are very artistic, and some of these have the story, the main points of the story, but also lovely illustrations. We are going to be doing the Canadian, or not the Canadian, North American forest animals, and so I found this book. I love finding like just gorgeous picture books. They're coffee table books for one day when I have a living room and it has a coffee table on it. I have plans. But I have a few of them that I've like collected over the years, and when I find that, I'm always very excited. I found a DVD of sign language because I know it's one of the requirements for high school. Again, I don't know how much I'm going to be following the strict guidelines, but I recognize that having a second language is never going to be a bad thing. Another book that I got was God at Ground Zero. This was one that I just wanted to read for myself, but it was talking about the atomic bomb and stuff, and so I just thought it was very interesting and wanted to read it for myself, so we'll see if I get to it. Okay, so the book haul is right here from bookoutlet.ca, and I found this one. I got this one again for the North America forest animals, but it also, like, yeah, it's just gorgeous. It makes me so happy when they do things like that and I find books like this. It also is one of the things that I can reference when I want to do paintings when I have time one day. So yeah, definitely one of my favorite finds. As my son says, beautiful. And then one of the things that I found at our thrift store that I put in here was this type of book. It's No Fear Shakespeare. And when I saw it, because I'm not a huge Shakespeare fan, but I recognize it's something that my kids should have some sort of knowledge of. And then I went on Book Outlet, and this is why I went on Book Outlet, was because when I looked it up, they had them for like $1.99, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna get the ones. My favorites are not the tragedies, my favorites are the comedy ones. So I got Romeo and Juliet, A Winter's Tale, Taming of the Shrew, let me see, Julius Caesar, Much Ado About Nothing. And then I got the bigger ones were like $4, but again, like I want them to have the choice of which play they want to study or look it up or write about, and have a few options. So this is A Midsummer Night's Dream. I got 2 of them. Well, that was an accident, but for the amount of money, I'm not too worried about it. it happens too sometimes when you click on something and then it's like, oh, you want two of it. No, I don't. Hamlet and Othello. So I feel like that's a really well-rounded collection of Shakespeare. But my favorite part of it is the fact that they have the play on one side of the page and then the English plain speaking version on that side. So they'll never be lost. Like I was taking, like I remember reading them in school and the teacher just going on and on and on, and you're supposed to read a part of the thing and you're like, I have no idea what's going on. The other thing that I did get was another homeschool mama shared this author, Lois Lowry, and she said that these were ones that, they weren't the ones that she was talking about in particular, but these are the ones that they had on Book Outlet, and so I was willing to give that a shot. All right, so the next one is, Open Sesame, is my Learning House one. So I got the rest of my Fix It Grammar this year. For whatever reason, I had a little bit more wiggle room in my budget. So I went to like complete the set that I have, or complete the curriculum so that I have it and I don't have to worry about it when I'm buying my Inara high school courses come the following year. Not this next year, but the year after. So this was something that I got. So I got the Frog's Prince and the Mermaid, the Little Mermaid, and that's the last of the Fix It Grammar. Then we've gone through all of them, and I feel really good about that. It makes me so happy. And then, I don't know, this might be hard to get out of the box. So I'm just going to show it to you this way. I got the next level of IEW. Oh, there it is. The next version of IEW for my kiddos. This is all the box looks like. So the only thing that I would recommend is like find out where your kids might be on the thing, and then they have a weird way of organizing what's next, and it took me a while to figure that out. So we have done the first, it's year 2 or year 1. We did year 1 and we did year 1A, and then I chose to do 1B. And then this year, because we've done those, it would be 2B is or year 2 level B. And then next time we would go year 1C and year 2C. So it's like it just, I was like, why do we have A, B, C, D, E, F, G and be done? But they don't. So it took me a while to figure that out. So I just wanted to give the heads up that there may be some confusion there, because there definitely was on my behalf. I was like, oh no. All right, the next one I'm going to share is my Matthew C. And this one, I'm not going to pull them all out because they're heavy and I think you'll get the hint. But I went and got the rest of the high school for Matthew C. So Matthew C, because I have to order from a very specific company, it's like $45 to send it. And so I was like, you know what? It's going to cost $45 every time. I'm going to just buy them all. So I got pre-algebra, like this, and the student notebook and the teacher's instructions and the test booklets, all, and the DVDs. So I got all of that for all of these. So it's pre-algebra, algebra 1, and then geometry. And so that's high school math done. I don't have to worry about it. And if I change anything, then I will. But for right now, I'm like, because I always photocopy the books, and then I can always sell the complete unit to someone else to garner that money back if I want. Thus far, I haven't sold any of them, but I will say, if you're a new mama who's trying to figure out math for your kiddos, just be aware that if you go into Matthew C, it's one of the ones that's very hard to transition out of because it's a mastery-based program, and if you go to something else, it might, like, there might be holes for your kids because they haven't done like a cursory level for everything. I haven't been too worried about that, other than when I thought I had to put my kid in a different high school program, but I was assured that that wasn't the case. So just be aware of that. If you're somebody who likes to change curriculums on a regular basis, Matthew C might not be the thing for you, but I always looked at it and went, when I was a kid, math wasn't very easy. And so when I did get math, and it was a struggle for me, and then they're moving on, I was always struggling every time that subject came up. So for me, mastery based made way more sense because I can make sure before we move on that they have at least the foundation of it figured out. And then as time goes on, you continue to work on that, but it's not, yeah, it was something that I found really frustrating about math and I wanted to fix. So the last one is a Amazon. So I don't know, there's like too many boxes, which is a good problem to have. But let me see if I can organize myself. All right, so I got some Amazon basic pencils. There is a crazy amount of them, 150 pack, and I wasn't able to get them last year. So when I saw them this year, I was like, snatch that up. The ones that I have is I'm so bad because I'm like, can I just get rid of the pencils that are used and just put out the new ones? Because I really want to do that, but then I feel bad for wasting the ones. So they might go to the thrift store and then I'll use the fancy the fancy ones that I just got. And then I got a few books that I needed. Some cool stuff. So we're doing chemistry next year. And so I had this on my list for a really long time. It was pricier, but I wanted something that was fun and that the kids would be interested in. My daughter has been doing chemistry by herself for the last little while, and I discovered that it didn't come naturally. It wasn't something that she was super, like, she was interested, but it was more difficult. And so I'm trying to do more, if can you say relaxed chemistry? Is that a thing? But I wanted to do something that would maybe excite them a little bit more than just having like the chemical compounds and you have to remember, and do you know what I mean? Like, I wanted to do something a little bit different. So there was a few different ones. This book, I was talking to another mama, and she said that this book was really great. It got the kids interested in it. So, like, just the history of it and stuff and why it was important. So I thought that this one might be one that I might do as a read aloud, and I wanted to get it because it was recommended by another mama. This study guide. So I have been doing a study curriculum with my kids, and it's very, very basic. Again, this is my own schooling coming to the forefront and going, no one ever taught me how to study. And so I felt that like I always did it very badly and very poorly. And this one I was recommended by Angela Braniff. And so I wanted to see if this one might be something that is a little bit more specific, because they're like, well, what, in the curriculum, it's like, have a goal and make a plan to hit that goal. And I was like, well, does that actually help? So this book is actually quite thick. So I want to go through and see and make sure it becomes one of the readers that my daughter has before she goes into grade 9. Because even if 1 or 2 or 3 things stick in her head, that might be helpful, more helpful than what I had originally. So that's the plan anyway. Indian Captive, the story of Mary Jemison. Again, it's one of those ones that I always want to, and this is by, no, it's not the same one. It's a different lady with 2 L's. her initials are two L's too, and her first name is Lois. So I was like, wait a minute, is this the same? But no, this is one that I've been looking at for our Native American unit. I don't know when we'll go back to it, but I found that sometimes there are few and far between books, and I had heard this one was a good one, and it's a prize winner as well, Trophy Newbery. So yeah, that was one that I picked up as well. My girls and I read, we are doing North American parks, national parks, there we go. North American national parks, and we read book 1, and I got in book 3 from Book Outlet, but they didn't have book 2. And I asked the girls if they would be interested in this, and they both said yes, kind of tentatively. So I got this one because if they don't read the number 2 and 3, I'm not going to worry too much about it, but I wanted to give them the opportunity because very rarely do they say a read aloud was good. So I got these ones. Again, I think this was another mama who talked about it, but this is a book that I thought, these two books, they're about a fox, and we're doing North American animals, and so I thought that this might be good as a read aloud or assigned reader. So I'm always looking for those types of books that are going to be interesting. This one is, we've been going through during our read aloud times the New Answers book 1, and I knew probably mid-year we would be done with it, and so I want to start reading this one as well. It's just our apologetics essentially, and I want to make sure that that is on the list of things that we do so that my kids have an answer for the questions that are going to come up as they leave my home. And so these ones I highly recommend because they're really solid theologically and scientifically, but they bring both of those in together and go, okay, you decide. Like, you know, this is our bias, this is their bias, and then you kind of decide what makes sense. And so there's logic in it, but there's also apologetics, and yeah, I can't say enough about those books in the world that we live in. I also got this one again to bring interest and joy to chemistry. I'm hoping that it'll make it a lot easier for if my daughter takes chemistry in high school. I want it to be just a little bit fun and easy, and these DK books are some really awesome, just beautiful illustrations, pictures, all of that kind of stuff. And it's not difficult reading, but it gives you an idea. And I mean, again, it's what the word God made the world out of, so it's important. And then I got another case of items. Sorry, I almost hit you. For my laminator, I am getting close to the end, and I use this stuff all the time. I use it for regular school. I use it for my son Darian's school. And so I feel like I needed it. I needed more. So that is my huge homeschool haul. I am done my school shopping, which I am super thrilled about. It's amazing how some things hang over you, and it's fun to look at stuff, but I'm so glad and so excited to say I'm done, and now I have to find places to put it all. So wish me luck on that. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video looking at some of the things that I bought for my homeschool. As you're shopping, I hope that you're finding all the things that you would like and want for your kiddos, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.